Hey, good morning. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a good week so far. 9/9/2021. Listen, if you're waiting for something extreme to happen before you take action, you have to listen to this message. You have to listen to this story. This time of year, for the past 20 years, it always comes up, and maybe you're thinking about it as well. Something extreme happened 20 years ago in 2 days, and I think the majority of you, if unless you're really young, you'll remember what happened 20 years ago. And it was before I was married. I was living in New York, and I'll never forget. If you want to hear the story, I want to share with you something extreme that happened that caused me to take action. And I don't know where you're at, and maybe you're struggling with some things, and maybe you've been reluctant to take action on. It could be whatever. It could be life. It could be your health. It could be business, finances, a relationship. I hope this message really resonates with you. And as I got up this morning, I couldn't help but think of where I was at 20 years ago. I see memories come up, and always in September, early part of September, I can't help but think of what happened 20 years ago on 9/11. And that was 2 days. In 2 days from now, what happened 20 years ago was something extreme, right? It was a tragedy. Maybe you didn't hear or didn't know that I was in New York City at that time. My wife was actually only a block away from the towers. And that's not so much. I'm going to probably share that story on 9/11. So definitely tune in for that. But I want to talk about when it takes something extreme. Perfect example, and I'll get into the story in a minute, but perfect example is when I have people that reach out to me for my help. They want to get on a healthier path, and they maybe have weight to lose, or they're complete hot mess with their diet, and they don't know how to exercise, and they're overweight and they're out of shape. And oftentimes it's after something extreme that happens. Maybe a doctor tells them they have to be on medication, they're diabetic, maybe they had a heart condition, maybe they have to have a joint replacement because the excess weight tore up their joints. Maybe they had a scare in the family, a family member that had passed away, all those types of things. But I want to share with you specifically the extreme circumstances that happened and why I took action. Now, for me, it was related to, and I know this is weird at first when you hear this, is I hadn't, up until not after 9/11, but 9/9, and prior to that, my entire life, I did not have a cell phone. I refused to have a cell phone. I was like one of the last people. I remember, my wife didn't have a cell phone either. I don't want somebody to know where I'm at. Not that I had anything to hide, but I just was like, why do I need a cell phone? I don't need to have a cell phone. This was now in 2001. And I'll never forget the week after 9/11 happened. And just to let you know, I saw it unravel. We were living in New York City at the time when the towers came down. My wife and I did not have contact with each other until she went to the hospital, and she could call where I was working at a different hospital. And finally, the landlines were working, so she was able to. At first, they weren't, but then they did get back up. Anyway, long story short with that is we did get connected. But we both decided after we were home, kind of like hunkered down when the whole entire city of Manhattan was shut down, we said, that's it. At the end, whenever we can get out and about, and it was like a few days after we're getting cell phones. And I'll never forget waiting online to get a cell phone, my very first one. And I was like, I will be the last person on earth to get a cell phone. But I'll never forget waiting online, how the faces of the people that were waiting online to figure out their cell phones or get new cell phones. It was a really somber experience. Like really, it was hard. It was a hard season of life. When you don't know like what's going on in the world and maybe it's ending. Does that sound familiar right now for some of you guys? Maybe not knowing what's going on in this world right now. But 20 years ago is 20 years ago. And I'll remember standing online for probably an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours outside, waiting online to get a cell phone that I didn't want. And I know that's the case too for a lot of people who really, I don't want to work out. I don't want to exercise. I don't want to eat healthy. I don't want to move more. I'm really kind of comfortable just where my life is now. But it may take an extreme circumstance. And I'm here to tell you that in hindsight, I wish I hadn't waited. Now, I know it's weird, but I wish when it came to 9/11, I wish I didn't wait until after 9/11. Not that cell phones really mattered and worked anyway, right after automatically, but it was something like this peace of mind. I really felt like, I remember when that happened, like, oh my gosh, like I don't have no way to contact her. And I felt like, oh, you know what? And looking back, no regrets, of course. But my question to you is, what are you waiting for in your life? Maybe waiting for something extreme to happen, and not in a good way, like 9/11, I think, with regards to that, I do believe that God never wastes a hurt. And I would say is it definitely not only shook me up and my family, and what's really crazy, and I'm going to share that story on 9/11. I actually used to work right between the two towers. There's a Marriott hotel, and I'll get into that story probably on Saturday. If you want to chime in and listen, I'm going to share a little bit of my story of in New York and 9/11. And working between the towers, actually used to go down there just about every evening. And we were actually down there 2 days before. But my question to you is, maybe it's not a question. Maybe it's something, just a hypothetical. Just think, why is it that we wait until something extreme happens to actually take action? A lot of people wait until something really bad happens to their health before they take action steps on their health. Does that make sense? I hope that's not the case for you. In other words, something extreme to happen. I talk to a lot of people that have 100 pounds, 100 plus pounds to lose. That's, in my eyes, that's extreme. Maybe for the person that has the weight, it isn't, because they've been just accruing weight over the years and maybe just avoiding the inevitable. And now it's extreme because now their body's shutting down, right? Now they have serious health issues. They're a high risk for a number of diseases and cancers and in immune compromised positions. And your immune system is compromised if you're overweight and out of shape. So we can go down that road, but I'm not here to talk about that. More just to encourage you to not wait for the extreme circumstances before you take action. So what does that look like? It doesn't mean you need to hire a coach, but it does mean that you need to pay attention, because the things that you focus on will grow. In other words, if you focus on poor eating habits, if you focus on being unhealthy, that's going to grow in your life, and it's not going to serve you well. Now, if you focus on maybe making some small changes, making habits, making an attempt to exercise, making the efforts to eat healthier, to actually preserve the best you can, the one body that God gave you, then that's probably going to serve you well over time, all right? Now, I know the problem happens and why coaches like me exist. And now I'm only one coach, and I may not be the right fit for you. But I do know that a lot of times people have just built up so much over the years, so many habits, so many things that have led them down the road to maybe 40, 50, 80, 100 pounds, unhealthy choices, unhealthy habits. And that's what the focus was on. So now it's hard to get your focus off of being unhealthy. And that's where somebody like me in my coaching program comes in. And that's what I provide for people. It's really what I love is as this community grows and people, come into, if you're not in our free Facebook group, come join that movement. It's amazing. There's lots of great people in there, but I love it because there's more and more skeptics, and I love that. And it knows that I'm moving in the right direction. So if you're a skeptic, if you think I'm like just trying to sell you on some kind of pill, potion, formula, magic, whatever, hey, you're somebody just out to get money and stuff, just so you know, that's cool. I actually embrace that and I welcome it. It means I'm moving in the right direction, because it means more people are watching, and that's a good thing. Now, if you find this valuable, all I ask is that you share this. If you're catching this on a replay, just drop down below replay. And that's my whole message for this morning in this extreme measures before. Maybe it's time to think of what could potentially happen. And that be the driving force. People talk about motivation all the time. I need more motivation. If I was only motivated, if I was, if I only had had more time, and if I only really I can't find the motivation. I get started and yes, that's why programs like mine exist. That's why I actually am still doing this after 26 years, because there's people that just, honestly, if I can tell you, that just can't find the solution. And they're trying to find it on their own. They're Google searching, they're buying more equipment, they're jumping on more bandwagon, weight loss gimmicks and buying more apps and joining more gyms and all that kind of stuff. And the reason why I'm just pleading with you here is that I just keep seeing it over and over and over again, year after year after year. People doing the same thing over and over and setting themselves up for disappointment. So why I say that all to you is that I'm a coach. I offer a solution for the right fit. If you're over 40 now, I've been mainly working with women. I have some men that I work with as well. But I know one of two things when it comes to working with people. Men typically, for the most part, think they got it all handled. Mark, I know what I need to do. I got it. Maybe there's a little pride involved. I have that pride too, don't get me wrong, but I know that. But for you ladies, I think one of the struggles is that maybe you don't feel valuable enough. You don't feel maybe that you're worth it enough. You're so busy taking care of everybody else. And maybe it's going to take an extreme circumstance, and I hope that's not the case. I hope you don't look back 10 years from now and you're still struggling with your weight loss. And you said, I remember hearing Mark talk about that message, or maybe you heard some other message that I shared, and I share lots of them, right? And you're like, oh, I really wish I started working with you 10 years ago, right? Because I can guarantee you I'm most likely going to be still doing this 10 years. I'll only be 59, right? And feeling maybe 39. Just kidding on that. But no, seriously, if you wait till the extreme circumstances, then unfortunately, sometimes it could be too late, right? Because it doesn't mean that you can actually then fix when something really bad goes wrong. So my encouragement to you is, and then just kind of thinking about me and my cell phone story in 9/11 and that coming up in 2 days. And it was, it's something that will resonate, with me. I will think about 9/11. I will go to the grave every year. I will remember it. I had a nephew that was actually born on 9/11 on that day. I'm going to share that story. You got to definitely tune in to me on Saturday when I share some of the craziness of what went down on 9/11 with regards to my family and the world and so forth. And maybe you can share your story as well. But again, I want to leave you on, are you going to wait for something extreme to happen to your health and your life or a loved one before you actually take action? Because you can have all the great intention, you can be even motivated, but if you don't take it, you can listen to all my lives, you can like and love and even send me messages and say thank you so much and all that. But if you're not taking action, then it's pretty much wasted. And I don't really want to waste your time. I don't think you want to waste your own time. Time is precious, especially if we're getting older and we don't know when something is going to take us. We don't know if there's something extreme tomorrow that's going to do damage to us or to maybe limit our lives, right? So I'm going to encourage you to take action. That's my encouragement. If you don't know how to take action, it's time to reach out to me. Literally what you can do, again, is just drop some fire emojis down below. If this message resonated with you, if you'd like me to connect with you, again, I'm not going to come chasing after you. If you want help, you know how to find me. You can drop some fire emojis and I'll take that next step and message you privately. You can send me a private message. You can drop it breakthrough. Again, that's the key word, breakthrough. And then we can have a conversation and we can see if my coaching program, my Lean Body Breakthrough coaching program, it's a one-on-one paid coaching program. It's not free. Again, it's not cheap. It's not $10 a month. I don't do that. I couldn't earn a living for $10 a month. I don't think you could either. But I will say is if you are the right fit, I will go to bat for you. I will do whatever I can in my power and the 26-something years that I have to help you succeed, to help you get out of putting yourself in any kind of extreme situation. So I hope this message found you well. If it did, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. And take care and God bless. Talk to you soon.